All right. Good evening, everyone,
Good evening.
and welcome to an enchanted evening.
That it is.
How was a happy day after sewing? Um, I don't know about you guys, but I had a wonderful, wonderful day. Um, got to give out some candy to the trick or treaters,
Did you
and
get a lot of trick-or-treaters?
we didn't have as many as we usually do, to be honest.
Hmm.
Um, we had maybe 25, 30 go through, and we used to have over 100 go through.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a lot less than it used to be, but at least we still get them. And it was very windy and cold,
Yeah.
and then about 7:30 it started to snow.
Yeah. That's what was
um
good here.
it was like a misty rain, and I saw a few stray flakes. And then about 12:30 last night, the heavens let loose, and I mean, it was like whiteout snowing. It was
Wow.
so heavy here. Yeah, it was crazy. We were
Yeah.
all like, "What the hell? What is going on here?"
And I was excited. I love the snow, but I woke up this morning and
Not
I
on
was just
Halloween. Right.
like, and it's Izzy's first snow, so I was really curious to see how she liked it, and she loved it. She just ran through it and was eating the snow, and she got cold, so I had to bring her in. But I ordered her some really cute sweaters, really cute girly sweaters off of Amazon. So I'm really excited.
Oh my goodness. The problem with wiener dogs is, especially like miniature wiener dogs, that they need a sweater like a chihuahua size, like a
Yo, yeah,
tiny chihuahua size, but they're too short on their little bodies. So,
right. Yeah, they
you
need
know,
long. Yeah, they,
we
they make specialized docks and
yes,
everything you
I
order is
just I
special.
have yet to find those. Those are on Amazon.
Really? Yeah, on Amazon, you just put in Dachshund sweaters. There's a company that makes them. I
Oh,
can send you. Yeah, as I got harnesses that are specially made for Dachshunds because they have a Dachshunds have a much broader chest,
mhm.
and they're long, so you have to. Their harnesses are different, but yeah, yeah, because yeah, I definitely. I can't wait to get them. Jared's like,
I
she
bet.
doesn't need sweaters. I'm like, she's cold. She
Yeah.
needs sweaters. She doesn't have the
Of
long
course
hair
she
like
needs
the other
sweaters.
boys have the long hair. So, and then
Yeah.
Loki had little snowballs all matted to his coat. So he's on the chair just looking at me like, so I'm like helping him pull them off and getting snow everywhere. But it was fun.
That's oh yeah, they get like Enyo, she has like her Grinch feet, but
Oh,
in
yeah.
I have to trim, like I don't do it in the winter, in between her pads on her paws, the hair gets real long, and then she comes in, she's got little balls of ice and snow
Yeah.
in her paws. So
Oh, yeah. That's got to be cold, and just, I couldn't imagine. So,
my dog and my cat are just weird.
it just
Yeah.
goes with it, with everything else.
Yeah, it goes with everything else in this house. Well, hello there. Are you joining me? We have a visitor, and it is not Senior Sirius.
Oh, it's
It
Nick.
is it is
Oh,
Miss
how
Nix
pretty.
is visiting us
He is
today.
so pretty.
Say hi, babies.
Hi, Nixie. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
She's like, nope, I'm out.
Mm.
Hello, beautifuls. Facebook user, hello to you as well. We do not know who that is, but thank you. Um, hopefully, we'll have a few more people get on. We'll give it just a minute. I see that you put your fall decorations out already.
Yeah,
Um, I still have not taken the Halloween decorations down yet, but it's supposed to warm up this weekend, so I'll get the outside stuff down.
that's so weird. Yeah, but I didn't take the outside stuff down. We're just going to wait until, hi, Billy. We're going to wait until Saturday and we're going to take down the other side too.
Yeah.
That's always sad. I hate doing that. It's
Oh,
so
I
depressing,
know.
but oh well.
I know. There's always next year.
Yep. That's what I get excited for. And I thought I can always get stuff for winter, like do like a winter other side, but
Yeah, you could do like lights and
that's what I
Christmas
was thinking.
decorations,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But we'll see. But
and
yeah.
then just wander out because you're out there with the dogs every day anyway.
Yeah, I'm outside every day, no matter
Yeah,
the weather, and I love being out there too. It's even like today. It's just snow to me. It's so peaceful,
yeah.
it's so quiet, and I just stand there and I close my eyes and can just. It's just nothing. I love it.
Maybe we can just get a big sleigh for Norbert to pull.
Oh, nice. That would be cool.
Yeah, we got options.
We do.
We got
We
options.
do. Yeah, that's so true.
All right. Well, it is 6 after, and we are going to be having a shorter show this evening because of personal obligations. So let's get started.
All right.
So, what is our topic this evening?
Oh, we're going to talk about letting go. I thought that might be a good one with the fall and everything, and with Samhain, learning how to let go. We all have been there, we all know what it's like.
Okay.
The,
Um,
what's that?
what?
Oh, I thought you said something.
I did not. I did
Oh,
not. You glitched there for a minute, and I was just like,
oh,
what just happened?
oh, I see. But we all know what it's like to feel an emptiness, despair, um, depression. It's and I've seen this especially now too with all of my clients. I'm sure you are as well, helping clients really pull through this.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell everybody the main key to this is to let go.
Yep, it is. And we just seem to hold on, to so much baggage and
We
just
do.
drag it around with us.
I know we do. We do.
And it's just so exhausting after
Mm.
a while.
It really does, because it really does. It takes away your sweetness. Before you know it, you start getting bitter. You put up walls. It's not serving you. And if you don't let go, nothing new can come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's so hard to especially let go of the past. But letting go too, it doesn't mean I don't like the spiritual bypassing. A lot of people do. Like they'll say, "Oh, it'll get better." Everything happens for a reason. Because we all know this, right? But it's still a struggle. It still hurts.
Right, right.
And letting go is not easy. It's a process. So I'm sure you can agree. You're not forcing yourself, and you're not forcing yourself to forget. It's basically just surrendering beliefs and emotions, and welcoming a lot of self-love. That's what I associate letting go with.
It's true. And when we're holding on to limiting beliefs and limiting people, and it's we're all resistant to change, and letting go is part of change.
It is.
Changing is hard. And I see so many people like that I do readings for that are just stuck because it's comfortable,
Yeah,
you
that's the
know.
thing. If you're
Yet
comfortable with
change,
it,
yeah, change
just
is
say no.
uncomfortable. Growth is
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
it's the unknown,
Yeah, yeah. And people would rather hold on to something that makes them unhappy
because they know
than
it's
because
familiar.
it's familiar, yes. And then let go and open up that space for something else to come along. Um,
Exactly.
you know, and I can get that because I used to struggle with letting go of people, even people that were not good for me.
Yeah.
Um, and a very wise person once told me that the best gift I could give myself is to let go gracefully. And I really honestly took that to heart, and I did that, and it was like, wow, she's right. So I have learned to be so much less resistant with things. And it's like, you know what? this just isn't the right time, or this just isn't the right situation, and you let go, and what's meant to come back will.
Exactly. As I tell people all the time, just because you let go of it now doesn't mean it goes anywhere, really, anyways, right? But
Right.
you're just able not to focus on it anymore, because sometimes the timing, sometimes things you can go back and revisit, sometimes you can repair something that was, timing, no, timing's everything, it's very important. Good evening, thanks for joining. One thing I notice with letting go is that we form an attachment to it.
Hi,
And
Sid.
hi, Sid, nice to see you. And then when we get attached to it, we attach ourselves with our identity, our thoughts. We give it so much energy. Letting go is definitely, it's part of the spiritual journey. It really is. And I actually call it, it's a journey of self-discovery more than anything. Because you're actually shedding the ego during this process.
Yeah, because it's like letting go of the control, because
Mhm.
we are not always in control.
That's for
And
sure.
yeah.
That's attachment.
And sometimes, like I always tell people come into your life for a reason, a season,
Mhm.
or a lesson.
Yeah.
And sometimes they stick around. Um, and sometimes they don't. But if you examine, um, you just have to click on the StreamYard link and give them permission to show your name. So there should be a link at the top of the whatever page, the broadcast post that you're looking at. Hi, Nova.
Hi,
Good to see
Nova.
you.
I miss you.
Yes, Sid, you always tune in to really good topics. And it brings, I'm going to use us as an example. When I met Sid, Sid brought a lot of really good people into my life. I mean, I
Like
never
you.
would have met Katrina. I never would have met Elena. I never would have met, I believe, Shelly. There were some people that came into my life, and funny thing, and there were other people that I met, and some of them I learned very valuable lessons from, and they're gone, and some of us know who they are. I have no animosity, because they did teach me good lessons, and they were here because I needed to learn them. And at the time, Sid and I were in different places in our lives, and I can't honestly say whether it was that we let those people come between us, or just that we learned our lessons and needed to go our separate ways. But then he came back. So that tells me that the universe is doing something, and we needed to learn those lessons from each other, and we came back, and we left, and we came back. And that's what change is all about. That's what letting go is all about. Because the people that you need are going to be there when you need them to be there, if that makes sense. I just took a really long road
Oh,
to a
it's
really
fine.
short
It made
message.
I was with you the whole journey.
All right, all right. Hey,
Right.
Sherry.
Hi, Sherry. Nice to thank you for joining. Well, no, absolutely. It's like we get married to how life should go, right?
Mhm.
We get married to certain beliefs, and something doesn't go quite the way we think it should. It's just that's where it gets hard to let go,
Mhm.
and that, and with absolutely, and then too, when we refuse to let go, especially through our beliefs, we tend to become the victim, which
Yeah,
nobody did during everything was going on between Sid and everything was happening, which was nice. Nobody was blaming anybody really.
right.
Um, so, but yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, and like I said, everything has a season,
Yeah,
everything has a timing. And then some things, people make mistakes too,
yeah. And
you
yeah, I'm glad that you're back too, because it was part of my spiritual growth, part of your spiritual growth, and there's no blame to be had. Everything happens for a reason, and if you just live that truth and go with it, everything happens the way it should, yeah, learning to let go, that I struggled with that.
Everyone does. It's hard, especially I have a hard time letting go of anger. I've really learned grace. It was something that's really hard, but I see a lot of that in people, and I admire that.
The glare from my glasses.
So I would always pray for that. I always pray, especially to the Blessed Mother Mary, to fill me with grace, to help me be able not take things personally, and not to play the victim, and
that's huge. That's huge, because it is not taking things personally, because I used to personalize everything. And I just had this conversation with someone today, and they were telling me something that was going on, and I'm like, the thing you have to remember is that when people get angry and say things to you that are hurtful or upsetting, usually their anger is not even directed at you.
Right.
You're
No,
not
it's
the cause of their anger. Sometimes you are. I mean, granted, we all can do things to upset people, but I mean, especially in my line of work, I realize it ain't all about me. It is not about me. Okay, I just got yelled at, but I know it had nothing to do with me. So I'm like, okay, I hear you. What can I do to fix it? And that's the mindset that we need to get into is, I hear that you're upset. Is there anything I can do to fix it? And 90% of the time, that's the only reaction they want. There's nothing you can do to fix it, but they just want to feel heard.
Yeah, the validation. Yeah.
Validation, yes. And I think we forget how to listen.
We do.
Forget how to listen.
We do. And too, with letting go, we're also not bypassing our feelings. People will say, I'm just letting it go. It's gone. It's like, well, that's not letting go. That's what they would say. I'm forgiving, but not forgetting. Well, that's not forgiving. But because it's perfectly normal to feel angry, to feel rage, to feel bitter, to feel hate. But once we start attaching our emotions to ourselves, that's where the suffering, and that's where it's hard to let go. Because our attachment and identification with our thoughts is the sole cause of our suffering. So, and I'll repeat that again. It is our attachment and identification with our thoughts that is the sole cause of our suffering. Which I think is a really good statement, because it's so simple. It's like, but instead, you learn how to healthy express your feelings. I tell people it's okay to have a pity party for like 10 minutes, but don't marinate, because there are times where I'm upset and my angels they're like, you're marinating. And I'm like,
marinating.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to marinate.
Wallowing, but I like marinating better.
Yeah. So, see, you're soaking in it. You don't want to soak in that, that anger, because all it does is lower your vibrations. It doesn't serve you. And that's what letting go is about. It's letting go of things that just aren't helping you.
Right.
What's the point? And it takes time. Like I said, it's a process. There's no quick way. There's not one pill for everyone. I will mention several different ways for several different types of attachments to help you let go. But the biggest one I find to help me let go is I question my thoughts, to find out what's really going on. Like anger is usually just a symptom of not being heard or feeling frustrated. And I'll ask myself, what am I frustrated about? What am I trying to get across that's not, and it just kind of helps, I kind of do that kind of a soul talk, to kind of help me. I tell people all the time, make a journal, write questions to yourself and answer them. People always kind of look at me and they're just like, but I'm like, I'm telling you, it works.
Yeah, journaling, I love that. Not only do I recommend it to my clients, but I recommend that everybody keep a journal every night. And I call it taking your personal inventory.
Nice. I like that.
And, just like simply What am I grateful for from today? What went wrong today? And
Nice.
what could I have done better today?
I like that.
And, it gives you a chance to look back and be like, I'm super grateful for this. This was a low point in the day, but how could I have handled it better?
Right. It makes you accountable. It takes responsibility for your part in it.
Exactly, because everybody plays a part in
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Nobody is the victim
Mhm.
100%.
No.
You played a part somehow in the situation.
Right. Exactly.
Yep, self-reflecting, self-inventory, yep.
Yeah, it works. I've learned a lot about myself the
Yeah.
last couple of years, and I still am. I'm still, and I'll yell at myself or tell myself to knock it off, or
Mhm.
and I practice what I preach. Everything I tell
Exactly.
everyone, I've done it and I've done the work. That's the thing too. You've got to do the work. It's spiritual bypassing. If you don't do the work, crystals and meditation and clearing your chakras alone aren't going to do it. You've
Mhm.
got to do the work. You've got to figure out what you're attached to. You got to figure out how to release that.
Mhm. And I think sometimes we do it subconsciously.
Oh, for sure.
We
Yeah.
don't even realize that we're getting attached until it's a problem,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. When we're feeling depression, or
Yeah.
suffering,
Yeah.
yeah, and putting up walls. Walls to me, when someone's putting up walls, it's like you definitely have something you need to let go of,
Yeah.
a belief or a thought. It's affecting you
Right.
big time.
Absolutely. And, you know, um, whether you want to call it whatever you want to call it, it's super important to find a way to do that release. And it takes a lot of time and energy. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That's so
It
nice.
helps us too.
Oh, for sure. We learn. We hear you guys, and it's how we learned. We learn from each other, and
Yeah.
it's like with
And,
grace. I learned about grace from watching other people.
exactly. I mean, I've learned so much from my clients and the people that are surrounding me, um, both good and bad. You learn from everybody. There's a lesson to be learned. And I
For
try to
sure.
take advantage of that. But if you're not paying attention,
That's the thing too. Yeah, you'll be
you're
paying
gonna
attention.
repeat it. So you need to be mindful
Yeah,
of your own actions.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we could talk about some techniques we can do to
Yeah.
help kind of let go. Some of my favorites. We'll talk about letting go of anger and resentment. This is my key area here because
All
this is what I
right.
have most issues with. Screaming. I tell people all the time, take a pillow and put it on your face and just scream. It helps me when I'm frustrated and I feel like I'm going to explode. Keeping it in, you're going to explode on somebody eventually. We're like a steam cooker. You got to release that valve, or it's going to be. Um, but it's screaming. Just put a pillow,
Over
or
your face, not someone else's.
right,
Just
yours,
just,
yeah.
you know, just clarifying.
I've thought of that myself sometimes, yeah. But your face, just put a pillow. Oh, nobody hears you. You don't have to be embarrassed, and but it feels good. It just releases that tension right
Right.
away, you know. And I tell people too, do opposite of how you feel. If you're angry, watch something on TV that either makes you laugh or makes you cry. Um, because actually, it kind of counteracts. It's like, it just kind of counteracts those emotions, and kind of helps, kind of like putting a water on the flame a little bit,
Right.
as
Like
you can say.
when my husband and I fight, he'll say something goofy to make me laugh.
That too, yeah.
Because
That's what I'll do, the same thing.
you can't laugh and stay
No,
angry. You just
no,
can't.
no. So me and my husband do at this point. We're just at that point now where we don't fight. We just kind of like bicker, and then one of us will say something funny, and the other one will laugh. But
And
yeah.
it just dissolves all that anger.
Completely, and that's why too a lot of people use humor,
Mhm.
and I do too. I use humor to diffuse the situation sometimes, and sometimes it's taken and sometimes it's not. But
Sometimes not, yeah. Sometimes not.
And I tell people to write letters. If you know, you can write it to yourself, write it to the person specifically, but write a letter, and just be as detailed about every little thing you're pissed about. Don't hold back your feelings at all. Curse them, threaten them, whatever it is that you want to do. But the thing is, though, you're going to rip up or you're going to burn this. You're not going to mail it out or
Right.
press send.
Yeah.
I recommend writing, though, not texting, because just in case. But
Or you can do it in Microsoft Word on your laptop so
oh,
that
there
it's
you go.
not going
Right,
to get
yeah.
sent.
Nobody
And then
sees
you
it.
just delete it when you're done.
Delete
That's
it.
what I do because
Yeah,
I'm on the computer. But yeah, I've learned don't do it texting or emailing because it's too easy to hit send accidentally.
for
So
sure.
yeah,
It would be.
not a good idea.
It would do that. Yeah. But yeah, no, that works great. Also, too, there's a little ritual you can do for all you witches out there. You can write the name of the person that upset you. You light a candle, and then you just kind of put the piece, into the flame, put it in your cauldron, and kind of watch it burn up, and turn to ash. And that should dissolve your anger.
Or write it on a piece of toilet paper and flush them.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
cathartic to see that swirling down the drain.
yep, yep. No, it's true. Yeah, it works for me too. Every time I'm angry, someone makes me laugh, I'm done. It's not, I don't hold the anger anymore.
Yeah, no, you
Um,
can't.
but yeah, and then too, be assertive with people. People are mind readers, and so we often get mad at people because we're mad because they don't do what we want them to do, but we didn't ask them to do it.
Right.
I get mad sometimes when I want help from my husband, and it's obvious to me I need help, but to him, he's just not paying attention. And
Right.
I get very mad at him because I'm just like, can you help me? And he's like, well, you didn't ask. And it's like, I need to learn to be more assertive with my feelings, more communicative. Because what happens is that point is that we're not speaking up for ourselves. And then we can often feel not heard or feel oppressed by the other person. And it's not their fault. It's yours for not speaking up.
Well, this goes right along with it. Stop putting your expectations
Oh,
on
yeah,
other
that's another one.
people.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I used to do that.
Yeah, your expectations, just because you do things to a certain standard does not mean everybody else does. So you have this expectation of what people are supposed to be doing. And guess what? They don't know. They have no idea what the expectation is. So someone didn't do something to your standards, you get mad, and now you're sitting here, you have no recourse because this person A doesn't know because you didn't never told them what you
Right,
expected. Now,
right,
if you do tell them what you expect and they still don't do it, well then you
right,
get a little mad. But we
right,
need to
right.
stop putting our expectations on other people.
It's true. It's true. Because I used to do that, even like with friendships, and somebody let me down.
Mm-hmm.
It was my expectation, not
Yeah.
theirs, and so I've learned to just let people be. It's a big thing.
Yep.
Another great thing to do is exercise. I love yoga. I tell everybody do yoga. They'll fight me on it sometimes, but when they start, they're like amazed with it. But jog, run, punch, do those boxing things, dance. Anything that's going to help kind of relieve that tension, get the heart rate up, can actually help you. And actually, too, being angry, it really adds to the workout.
Yeah.
It's like angry exercising.
Angry
It really
exercise.
gives you the motivation, kind of like angry sex, but it gives you the motivation and the stamina to really keep it going.
All right. Why makeup sex is the best.
Exactly. Another thing is be responsible for your own happiness. We too much look for other people to make us happy. When they
Yep.
let us down, we're like, and I used to do that with every guy I ever dated until now. But I would, yeah, anytime he upset me, I was just sad, and I relied on him to make me happy and reassure me all the time. And I realized how exhausting that had to have been for him, you know. But yeah, so take responsibility. You're the only one that can make you happy. Happiness is
Exactly.
a choice. It's not something you try to get or it's something you try to achieve. Um,
Serious, get out of the basket of clothes. Yes, my cats think that the clean clothes basket is their
Oh, mine like
lounge
yeah,
place.
mine like the dirty clothes and
Oh,
the yeah, and Jarrett's work clothes for some reason. He gets
yeah.
home and they lay on it and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Say
no.
hello, Sirius Black. Now
Hi,
Sirius is here,
Sirius.
my buddy.
Nice.
Really? You're gonna? Oh, okay. He's like, I'm not in the mood. That
He's
basket
letting
is his
go.
happy place. You know, you're gonna spill this, so let me move it. And there's a candle right by your ass, so
Oh,
I
don't let
suggest you
that.
move. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to
that's a
set
good
his
idea.
kitty butt on fire. So, yeah, I'm gonna move him before the candle.
Exactly. Exactly. Does anyone have any questions or anything so far that they'd like to ask or share your input or something maybe um, even contradictory what we're saying?
Yeah, let's hear some input. How do you guys let go of things and release?
Yeah, this
And
is
don't everybody jump at once.
everyone's just watching.
Yeah, they're just like, nope, got nothing for you.
Like we're watching you. You're our entertainment tonight.
Well, a good time to do your releasing is on the full moon. I know that on Katrina's meditation, a lot of times she does a releasing and a cord cutting, which we should talk about cord cutting, um, and how important that is and how that helps with releasing. Excuse me. And then when I do my full moon ritual, we do a fire ceremony where we release things and then we burn them because me, I'm a fire sign. I love burning shit. So
Me too.
that's a really great way. Camp, you go camping. Okay, that's one way. um
Yeah, connecting with nature is a great
yep,
way.
anything in
Um,
nature, you hold everything in until you can't take it.
yeah, you can't do that, Nova. That's
Yeah,
this
I
is the
am
thing
working
you're
really,
getting
really
to.
hard not to do that, but that is my style as well, Nova. I will hold everything in until there is an explosion. Um, and
See,
that
not me. I'm like right away. Something's bothering me. I'm it's coming out. I can't hold anything in.
See, I'm real passive aggressive. And that's it's a character flaw that I'm working on, you know,
Good to
to be
know.
to have more assertive communication and say what's on my mind instead of being the passive aggressive person about that.
Yeah,
Sleep, drink, deep breaths, gratitude,
absolutely. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yep. Again, you're adding positivity. You're changing the frequency, basically what you're doing. Because anger we all know what that frequency feels like. And we know what the frequency of happiness feels like. So why not gravitate towards the happiness? It feels so much better.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah, trying to find the lesson.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And then meditating, absolutely. Getting in nature, absolutely.
Nature's healing. It
Yeah.
really is. It helped me with my anxieties and my PTSD. So
Yep.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing I tell people too, take the 20-second pause because we react way too
Mhm.
much instead of listening. Like you said earlier, you mentioned we don't listen. So what I do if I get upset or something kind of, I start getting, a little bit anxious, I'll take a breath in and I let it go. And then I do it again. And for about 20 seconds, I'll just pause and allow myself to reset. And then I don't react with my
Yeah, you wanna
emotions.
respond, not react, you
Right.
know?
Yep.
If there's a legitimate reason to be upset, we wanna respond. But
Right.
if we don't, again, you're right, everything's not about me.
It's
And
not
when you take
universal.
things personally, you get
Yeah,
much more anger happens when you're taking everything personally.
for sure.
Taking that I do the 10-second pause, and just kinda give myself a second to just think about what was said, um, before I react or respond.
Yep, exactly. That's what I do. Yeah. Hi, Debbie.
Hey,
Um,
Debbie.
yeah, that's something too, like you said about the chords. Yeah, chords, I guess I mentioned in my meditation what they are. We attach chords to everybody we interact with. It's an energetic exchange. It's how we exchange information, energy, knowledge, and everything to our souls. And when that cord is unhealthy and attaches to somebody who's super negative, somebody who's super angry, it's going to affect you. You're going to feel drained of energy. I mean, have you ever been around somebody all day, they leave and you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I don't know what's wrong. It's because they were
Yep.
draining you. And these cords, they look kind of like a gas hose. But regular cord cutting will help kind of take away the cords that aren't serving you, and they can actually help, in a sense, and give you peace and let go. Especially if those people, you learn to put up like a boundary, so they can't do that, drain your energy. Some people come to you just for that. I'm sure we all know somebody that's the complainer, the
Yep.
bitcher, that likes to come and vent their shit all over you. They feel great. And then you're left feeling like a puddle of mud. Hi, Missy. Thanks for joining. But yeah, cord cuttings, and you can do any form or fashion of them, whatever there's so many different ways.
Yeah.
Doing them. But it's just visualization, really, and just giving that permission to be like, no, it also kind of gives you a self of empowerment too, to help you.
Yeah. And I mean, I can really feel the difference when I do a cord cutting, especially because I interact with a lot of people, and they are very attracted to my positivity and my higher vibration. And so even if the interaction is casual, it seems like there's almost like an attachment, that cord is just like,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
know, and I'm just like, nope, you got to go.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
It really, yeah. And then too, I'll go into a little more too of letting go techniques, because there's also letting go of anxieties and stress. And I know, because I suffer from PTSD, OCD, severe panic disorder. I was diagnosed like 6 years ago. It was pretty bad. I'm perfect now, which is awesome, but I was in a bad place, and I had to learn how to let go of those anxieties, because that anxiety is like an entity. It really messes with your mind and lies to you. And all stress comes from the head. It all comes up from
Yep.
your thought forms, and any kind of belief, any underlying belief in there, it's fear. So this is where I learned a lot through breathing techniques, to help kind of relieve that pressure, that stress. You work kind of on the vagus nerve. You kind of learn to reset that. And it kind of helps with the nervous system, because that's what affects the nervous system in all this. I also liked, I'm thinking too about our thoughts. Find the belief of your fear. Sometimes even just realizing what you're afraid of. Like, I've asked myself, what am I afraid of? And then I'll say it and I'll be like, well, that's impossible. You know what I mean? It's like, after
Yeah.
you kind of realize, wait, that can't happen. Like, I was afraid to use the oven. I mean, I had some real phobias with this PTSD. I was afraid to use my oven because I was afraid when I would open it, big flames would shoot out and they'll just dissolve my lungs. I know, right? And as a baker, that really hurt me because I couldn't bake anything. I couldn't even cook for my husband or anything. But I would one day I just said to myself, what am I afraid of? I'm like, well, that would never happen, you know? And that kind of helps too. It kind of helps change our beliefs a little bit. On that. But yeah, and then practicing mindful meditation, staying grounded is so important with anxieties because it helps you to really stay in the present, because our anxieties are so based on future thoughts, really. But if we can stay present and grounded in what's happening around you, like there's one thing I do like to do. I can't remember what it's called, but I use the 5 senses. I'll look around the room. What 5 things can I see? What 4 things can I touch? What 3 things I can touch? What 2 things I can smell? And what's the 1 thing I can hear? Or whatever order you want to put it in. But it will help you to stay present.
Mhm.
And then, like I tell everybody, see anxiety as a teacher, not an enemy. Because the thing is, we demon. That's the trouble we talked before about mental health. We demonize it, and we blame
Right.
it too. I hate people blame their anxieties. It's like, it's not your anxieties, it's you. But, yeah, because you got it's all about perspectives, I guess you can say. And we always see our anxieties as being a bad thing. But if you change your perspective on it and you start getting understanding that everything's a teacher, and it's just trying to help you develop some self-awareness, trying to teach you some mindfulness, compassion, and just uh, the uh, the ability to surrender that which you can't control. It's all about having that control too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, and those are just kind of things that help me with my PTSD and severe panic. Like I said, I haven't had one in a couple of years, which is really good. But this angel stuff, there's a lot of angels that have helped me through that that period of my time.
Yeah.
God, but yeah, but we all have anxieties, and those are just some ways to help you kind of conquer them, so you can kind of keep yourself in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got advice about your mind on a hamster wheel. Find distraction. You have to find
Your mind can't think of two things at once. Yeah.
right. So you
That's why I
have
took
to
up
find something to
crochet. That's
distract
one
it.
reason I took up crocheting, because I tried to learn how to play the banjo, and that worked, but I wasn't terribly good at it. So, and I could only play a few things, and I was really trying to play some stuff that I probably shouldn't have been trying anyways. But then I found crocheting that I really did like, and I could do, and it was something that my mind could just take off with. So, absolutely.
Yep, distraction. And your pets are a good distraction.
Oh, for
Um,
sure. Yeah, Teddy would
when
always
you get
know.
anxious, you know, hold your pets, hold a cat because I really believe that cats do absorb negative
Oh,
energy
yeah,
from
for
us.
sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, Teddy used to bring me toys. Like, he would know I was having a panic attack before I knew I was having one. He would just keep bringing me toys, and I would have a stack of toys laying next to me. Like, what's going on? Like, and next thing I know, I could feel my heart palpitating, and I could feel myself sweating and my breath picking up, and I knew I was having a panic attack. Yes, drawing. I can't draw.
Drawing, coloring, adult
Coloring,
coloring
I can.
books.
I used to do adult. I have like 100 adult coloring books. Um, that I used to do a lot of coloring. I
Yeah,
can
those are big.
color.
Those are really popular. And a lot of people do that doodling, coloring, any of that definitely
Rick's
will.
actually a very good artist. I've seen some of his work. He's very good.
Yeah, I
But
draw
yeah,
those stick people.
yeah, I can't even do that very good. So, but yeah, but yeah. So, does anyone else have any questions or anything they want to know about letting go? And also too, like letting go of people too. Realizing that you did the best you could. Like sometimes, we got to tell ourselves it wasn't our fault. We didn't do anything.
Right.
Especially when a relationship ends quickly and we don't understand why. We always question like, what I do? But you can't dwell on that. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to realize you did the very best you could. And there's just no need to beat yourself up. Yes, you are, Rick. I've seen your drawings. You are very good. um, and two, forgiveness. Now, don't force forgiveness, because if you don't feel like forgiving somebody, don't, because you're not going to, because it won't be real. You need to really give yourself that space to kind of rage and vent for a while, because eventually you'll feel ready to forgive at that point. Yeah.
And forgiveness is huge, and I
It is.
teach that a lot. And one way that's very helpful is, there isn't always a why, which somebody also taught me that. There isn't always a why, but if you can just say something like, I forgive whoever for state what they did because they did the best they could do with where they were in their life at that time.
Yeah.
And it takes the blame off of you,
Right.
and the blame, they did the best they could, and you just have to let go.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. 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 So true. Oh, it's Debbie. Yeah. Oh, well, Debbie. Um, well, the thing is, too, Deb, you have to learn it. Sometimes you're put in a place where you should be, maybe something
right,
better, like I said, you need to find the lesson here, and that'll help you. Instead of getting mad at the why, or,
practice acceptance.
exactly, because the thing is too, the extra time you might be needing for something else might come into your life, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, I'm glad I had that extra, because I've done the same thing. I've got where there are times where I have a slow time with my business, and I get like, oh man, I have nobody this week, but then something comes along that's like, oh well, thank God, like either I get sick or somebody else is sick and needs me, so they need, and it's like, wow, this is
Right.
why. So but yeah, um but just tell yourself that you know um, you're okay, and the
Yeah.
universe is helping you, and to guide you, and ask it to guide you, and say, hey, I'm open. And sometimes too, it might be telling you, hey, this is not the right job for you, let alone, 'cause sometimes you get those little hints that say,
Right.
hey, you're not happy at your job, so it's time to move on. So many people stay in a job where they're miserable and they don't belong in, until they get fired, or
Right.
something happens, and then you're like, fuck. But I tell people all the time, happiness is everything. That, the money, that whatever you want will come with when you're in the right place, because it's so much better when you're happy
Right.
and
Right.
you're where you should be. Happiness is always an indication you're not where you're supposed to be.
All right.
That's not her boss. That's who is.
Yeah,
That's
that's her. Yeah.
like, hey, I know Debbie. You better not slap her.
It's, and I went through that, something like that not long ago with my job, and I went through a really like manic phase, and I was angry and I was hurt and I was upset, and then it all just worked out, and better stuff is coming along. So, we just once I learned to just accept it, the problem went away.
Absolutely. That's yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's part of grace.
Mhm.
It's just that acceptance. That things aren't always going to go your way. Things aren't
Yeah.
always going to be quote unquote fair. Um, and that yeah. And yeah, I just it's letting go is something. It's a process.
Yep.
It's something that takes sometimes a
It is
lifetime
definitely a
to
process.
do, because we all have baggage of some sort.
Mhm.
Trust me, I have issues that sometimes will sneak up on me, get the better of me, but I'll recognize it, and I'm able to change it.
Right.
And I'll ask my angels too. I tell people to ask those angels; they're there for you. They can't help you unless you ask. So and I'll tell
Right.
my angels, hey, angels, I'm having issues with this. Help me. To release this, help me to let go of this, and guess what? I feel better, and
Yeah.
it's like it's released. Also, too, the angels taught me a long time ago. Think of a bowl. They call it a worry bowl, and mine's a big old wooden hand carved out bowl, but you can have a glass bowl, ceramic, whatever, big, small, but it's your worry bowl. And what we do is that you think of this bowl and you just put in your stresses, your angers, your whatever it is, and then you give it to the angels and you trust that they're going to take care of that. That's their to-do list. And you can move on with your life feeling, letting go of that and feeling better about where your life's going. Yes, Shelley's shadow work is all part of it.
Yep.
Shadow work's all about perception, and it's all about projection. People project things all the time, and I have a habit of that myself. I'll project. If I'm feeling a certain way, I assume somebody else is, and I'm like, and that, and that's just being human. But we got to realize we can't. Oh, and assuming, the angels just called out. We also assume too easily.
Yeah. Yep. That is true. But we are getting to the end of our time because I know we have to be done in the next few minutes.
Yeah.
So does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns, contributions?
Contributions.
We will take.
Hopefully we helped you some. Of course, you can always reach out to me or Karen. Yeah, I know, right, Nick? And I do the same thing too. I not as much as I used to because I've learned not to assume. But yeah, yes, it is the best thing.
Yep.
Once you learn surrender. The angels can't take anything from you. You have to give it to them. So surrender is the only way you're going to be able to free yourself.
All right.
I appreciate you, Debbie. I'm always here for you, Debbie.
Yes, thank you. All right, the critters are like, okay, show's over. We're leaving.
I know. My husband's probably like, he's trying. He's with my puppy, and she's a big mama's girl, and she cries and doesn't be good when I'm not with him. So, and I can't have her running around down here yet. She's just into everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for hanging out. As always, if you have any questions or need anything, feel free to reach out to one of us. We will be as helpful as humanly possible.
Good. Thank you, Rick. Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys have topics you guys want to learn about or talk about or whatever, let us know too. Cause we have sometimes hard time coming up with ideas.
Right. Yeah. Cause we're like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
I know. So we're just like, what haven't we talked about? And stuff. Cause we want to continue to do this. We want to learn and after a while you just kind of like, what's there to talk about?
Right.
And who's listening? Who wants to know,
Shoot us a message with a topic or, even if you see when we post an event, for one of the shows, you just make a comment in that, and say, hey, can you guys talk about this sometime? And we'll get that notification. So we can do that for you guys in the future. But I am ready to go and relax. And I wish you all a very lovely evening. And thank you for hanging out.
Absolutely. Love you all. Thank you.